Welcome to the vNOC Management Platform overview. The vNOC Management Platform is a management tool that provides a globalized view for ease of use around management of your AWS account or multiple accounts. The vNOC platform was built to augment and complement the existing AWS console. The dashboard view will give you a high-level overview of your AWS accounts, which if you notice at the top right-hand corner, I have the ability to manage multiple AWS accounts. The dashboard is showing me everything that I have in my infrastructure across many AWS accounts. I'm viewing the total previous and current month spend. I have a trending graph that's showing me trends for spend in my AWS accounts across a time period that I can customize. I can also identify the top spending services. Resource groups with regards to vNOC are a logical collection of your AWS assets. So EC2 instances, RDS databases, volumes that are grouped together for purposes of generating billing reports or even assigning governance policies like backup schedules. The event summary is showing me for both CloudTrail and CloudWatch how many events have occurred in my environment across about a time period of a week. The snapshot to the right is showing me a glimpse into the potential savings estimated by Trusted Advisor. I can view a CloudWatch alarm history that I can specify the time period because vNOC allows me to actually archive CloudWatch metrics so I can get a better understanding of how my environment has been behaving for the past 6 months. If I move over to monitoring in CloudWatch, this is where I can view across many different accounts, many different regions, and even different namespaces how many alarms have actually been occurring in my environment. I can even scroll down further and actually see a particular alarm and drill in for further detail. I can move over to Trusted Advisor, where I can get a quick way to filter through many different checks and filters for a particular category or status. I can even select a particular log and drill in further for detail. There's a URL monitor, so I can input my URL and vNOC will send a ping every 10 seconds. The Cloud Manager will allow me to manage governance policies, such as creating automated backups or setting a lifecycle policy so I can automate the process of powering on and powering off certain instances so I can really control spend in certain environments like development that don't need to be running 24/7. Provision is going to give me full access to a complete library of CloudFormation templates. If I scroll to the right and say Provision New Script, I can either select a baseline package or I can customize a script based off of a particular service that I'd like to spin out. Resource groups are where I'm going to create and manage all of my resource groups. The servers grid is going to show me a complete overview of all of the instances that I have in my environment. As you can see here, I'm looking across multiple regions and multiple cloud accounts. I'm also looking across multiple services. So here I have EC2 and RDS. If I move over to SSL certs, this is where I'll be able to view and manage the expiration dates for all the SSL certs in my environment. Audit's going to allow me to view the user interface that we've developed for AWS Config. With AWS Config, you're going to be able to view all of the relationships for services related to EC2. So I can come here and select a particular cloud account, even identify a region. What's most important is, let's say I have a project to work on some of my subnets. I'll come to resource type, identify subnet, and if I scroll down, I'll see all of the logs related to subnets. I can find the particular one that I'm looking for. So now I can see all of the relationships that are contained within that subnet before I make any changes that can have a major impact. A similar UI is available for CloudTrail. So now I can identify a particular log that I'm looking for very easily by using my filter options. I can specify an event type. Let's say I'm looking for stop instance. I'll scroll down my list. I'll say stop instance, and this will remove all of the events with stop instance so I can identify the instance I'm looking for, the date and time, and the end user that stopped it. Similar logging is available for all the vNOC APIs. The Reporting tab is going to show me the cost summary, at a high level, the spend distribution across multiple AWS accounts, my total usage to date, a breakdown of the cost by individual service. I can see a cost by region, which region in AWS is actually generating the most spend. And then furthermore, a cost by resource group, so I can identify which group is spending the most money. I can see my service metrics, so I can get a better understanding across actual AWS service, the summary for available and in use, or platform by EC2 instance. I'll be able to see an event summary by both CloudTrail and CloudWatch, the cost and a trending graph associated with that service. For reserved instances, I'm going to be able to see how many reserved I have and how many are actually retired, as well as a breakdown of CloudTrail events. There's identity services, so I can create role-based access for the vNOC platform. Data export is going to allow me to actually export archived information. So let's say I needed to get a hold of all of my billing for my demo account for 2014, all of these reports into a CSV format. And lastly is configuration. This is where I'm going to be able to register new cloud accounts, but I can also federate access directly into the AWS console. So let's say I have an auditor coming in to audit my infrastructure. I can create them a role, specify how long they're allowed to be in the console, which policy they're going to have, and then I'll request access, access cloud, and I will have federated directly into the AWS console. Thank you for watching the vNOC Management Platform overview.